So this is an early look at the Topo Athletic MT3. So this is the kind of the next one up from the MT2, obviously. Just a couple of things I just want to walk you through. This is a kind of what I would call a city to summit kind of shoe. And what I mean by that is, a lot of us say we're trail runners, but the reality is we do quite a lot of pavement. And we run, you know, to and from trails on pavement as well. So I'm actually going to start with the grip on these because I really like it. So the grip it's not as aggressive as you would expect on a trail shoe. It's still pretty aggressive, but it's multiple directions, and the way it's laid out makes it really good on kind of pavement as well as up on rocks and running in the wet. And I think they're even pretty good in the snow, although I haven't been able to test them in the snow yet, although I do get pretty much all the weather here in New England. I've taken them on a typical run that they would be good for, which is kind of, as I say, a city to summit. So I've left over there, come along and come up a nice big escarpment here, and I'm just running along a rocky ridge here in New England. But that's kind of exactly what these are for. They have a very wide toe box, which is great for longer distance runners as well. So you'll see the shape of them. They're much wider than a kind of more traditional running shoe, which gives your toes much more room. And I much prefer wider foot shaped shoes. They tend to mean I'm less likely to get blisters when I'm running longer distance. And also, I'm just going to zoom in on the material. I've splashed a bit of water on them. They're still very breathable, but they seem to be reasonably water repellent as well from splashes, which is really cool, which is really useful. The tongue is, if you can see here on the inside, the tongue's actually, it's fitted all the way in. You probably can't quite see, yeah you can. It's fitted all the way in. So what that means is there's less likely to get dirt and stuff inside your feet and inside your shoes when you're when you're running along. And then inside is an actual orthopedic. I say orthopedic, it's an ortho-lite insole, which is really comfortable. I would say overall these shoes are kind of a neutral gait. But the other thing that's really interesting about them is they feel like a soccer mum car at the front and a racing car at the back. And what I mean by that is they grip really well around the heel. They're a really tight, positive, decent grip around the heel, and they're a decent grip up to about here. So when I'm running on rocks and really uneven ground, I know what I'm doing, and I don't feel like I'm on a big spongy car. But at the front, they're super comfortable on my toes, so I get all the kind of responsiveness I would expect from quite a tight, responsive shoe, but I get the comfort at the front of a long distance shoe. And as a result, I really like them. I really like how well, normally with shoes with a wide fit, I tend to have to go for heel lock lacing to hold the heel in. But with these, they hold really, really well at the back. So that's about it. I've noticed there's some holes along the bottom here for a bit of extra kind of breathability on them. And they have laces like all other shoes do, and they come in these rather retro groovy colours. But all in all, I really like the shoe. This would suit people who perhaps find shoes a little bit narrow at the front. The drop on them is 3mm, so that means that there's 25mm at the back here and about 22mm, he said with bad math, at the front. So if you don't get on with zero drop shoes and your Achilles tendons hurt a little bit, these would be much, much better for you. Yeah, like I say, they'll suit people that don't like narrow shoes at the front and don't get on with them, and they'll also suit trail runners that run on quite a lot of varied terrain. So whether you're running on pavements or on rocks or in the wet, they're kind of an all shoes to all men, and as a result they'll probably end up being one of the main shoes I use in training, sort of day to day. So there you go, there's a first quick look at the Topo Athletic MT3.